At the fifth ordinary session, witnessed the tabling of committee reports and indispensable presentations, such as report on the workshop on the Pan-African Parliament, on the African Union Team of the Year 2025. Presentation on APRM, country reports, governance report, report of technical consultation on the model law on sustainable management, report on the participation of PAP at COP29, presentation on the role of the Pan-African Parliament in the African integration process, presentation on the outcome of the joint consultative meeting between the Peace and Security Council, PSC, of the African Union and the Pan-African Parliament held on 17 and 18 July 2025. Presentation on building a continental framework for AI, artificial intelligence, data sovereignty, and responsible digital innovation. Impact of US visa and tariff restrictions on African and Africa's response was also a discussion that took place there. Addressing predatory mining and promoting ethical resource governance. Reports of the fact-finding and advocacy mission on the progress made by Tanzania on the AfCFTA Guided Trade Initiative. Trade justice and improved global market access for African agricultural products. Report of the African Youth Forum by the PAP Youth Caucus, as well as climate resilience and the adaptation in the context of the Nairobi Declaration. All these topics attracted enriching debates, adopted and taken into notice. Honorable Speaker, we can go to page 16 of the report because I want to concentrate on reparations. Although there are many topics discussed there, but we can go to page 16. Yeah. Are you there? Yes, there is a presentation on debate on AU Team of the Year 2025. The House opened with various presentations on the African Union Theme of the Year, Justice for Africans and Persons of African Descent through Reparations, and the State of Human Rights in Africa. The first report to be tabled for adoption and debate was tabled by Honorable Jose Montagas Gabriel, Rapporteur of the Committee on Justice and Human Rights on the workshop of Pan-African Parliament on the African Union Theme of the Year, adopted during the 37th Ordinary Session of the African Union Assembly of Heads of State and Government, held from 17 to 18 February 2024 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Montagas described the theme as a critical milestone in Africa's pursuit of justice, historical redress, and sustainable development, which calls on the urgency of addressing historical injustices while championing for reparative justice as an apparatus to restore dignity and promote equity. In his deliberation, Montagas highlighted that the economic cost of slavery and colonialism is estimated to be in trillions of dollars. For example, in a 2019 study undertaken by the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, highlighted that Africa loses approximately $89 billion annually to the illicit financial flows, a modern consequence of historical economic exploitation. Similarly, he shared that the Caribbean community, CARICOM, has estimated that European nations owe former colonies over $7 trillion in reparations for slavery and colonialism. He expressed that the theme of justice for Africans and people of African descent through reparations is both timely and critical in the ongoing struggle for social justice, equity, and historical recognition on the African
Honorable Member for Willis, you are asked to stand when you are speaking. You cannot be bending like you are.
I'm standing. Honorable, the writing is very small. I know I'm using my glasses.
No.
What do you want me to do?
You should stand up and read.
You stop. You are a serious person there, a very important person at that table. Stop disturbing the assembly. You. Mandagas expressed that the team for, like many speakers, he alluded that reparations are not uniquely monetary compensation, but represent a process of acknowledging and repairing the deep wounds caused by centuries of exploitation. He stressed that the effects of slavery and colonial rule are still apparent today through disparities in economic development, health outcomes, access to education, and cultural heritage preservation. And addressing these injustices is an essential part of the healing process for African societies and diaspora. He indicated that the Pan-African Parliament is a significant body within the African Union and ideally situated to elevate this discussion to the global stage. He explained that focusing on reparations underscores the Parliament's dedication to justice, peace, and unity across the African continent and for the people of African descent worldwide. He shared that the workshop, therefore, provided the platform to motivate collective actions to achieve long-term reparative measures. The following resolutions and recommendations on reparations for Africans and peoples of African descent through reparations were adopted at the plenary. Honorable Speaker, we can now go to page 18. There is a paragraph that I want to share with you, and that is the last paragraph before perspectives. It was recommended that African member states to launch the AU theme of the year 2025 in their respective countries and implement it at the national level, honor obligations of the International Convention on the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, the Durban Declaration and Program of Action, initiate activities for the implementation of the International Decade for People of African Descent, execute measures to eliminate barriers to acquiring citizenship, which we have discussed here lengthily the other day, and identify documentation by Africans in the diaspora, develop and implement comprehensive reparative justice policies and programs at the national level, ensuring that affected communities benefit equitably. They have also been advised to foster collaboration with relevant stakeholders, including civil society organizations, academic institutions, and diaspora communities to develop and implement effective and reparative justice programs. Honorable Speaker, may we please go to page 25. Yeah. In page 25? Yes, thank you. Honorable Speaker, when you go to page 25, the beginning, the discussion here is on the outcome of the joint consultative meeting between the Peace and Security Council, PSC, of the African Union and the Pan-African Parliament held on the 17th and 18th July 2025. The joint consultative meeting between the Peace and Security Council and PAP was held under the theme of enhancing institutional synergy and collaboration for sustainable peace and security in Africa. The meeting provided the opportunity to discuss the escalation of violent conflicts, which adds to humanitarian crisis across the African continent. The need to ensure peace, security, and development, and promoting economic growth, social progress, and good governance are regarded as fundamental for the continent. During the discussions, members acknowledged the imperative to reinforce and fully make use of the African institutions to address the confrontations towards peace and security. The youth were as well considered in the dialogue and considered to be the drivers of economic growth and social change and political progress, but attaining the vision requires empowering the youth with advanced education, skills, and job opportunities. Honorable Speaker, may we please go to page 29. Thank you. you go to the second paragraph, you'll see that the deliberation was on globally 41% of employees in Africa are in fear of repercussions of automation due to AI. That was a big fear in Africa. Witnesses state strategies to solve them, hinting that Africa has the resources to address this AI problem. She expressed that Africa's youth and their creativity and ability to engineer and innovate should take up the challenges and transform the continent through AI. She further expressed that Africa has over 2,400 organizations, companies, research labs that work on AI tools, and points that a step in taking control over AI is to assume command over data. She deliberated that control over our data allow us command over the tools and platforms we use or can use, over what these platforms can do with our data and what they cannot do. She cautioned that without control over our data, Africa is in danger of entering into a new phase of colonialism, where digital data of Africans is exported out of the continent and used for economic gain in the United States, China, or Europe. She describes the era as a phase where the digital information on health, finance, and agriculture is sent to data centers without African oversight, and where foreign tools are exported and tested here in Africa without addressing African challenges, without using data sets that are representative of African populations, and without accountability on the algorithms and projects used in these tools. That is Professor Dr. Mirjam. We can now go to page 36, Honorable Speaker. These are all connected, but we are summarizing. And you can go to the last paragraph of page 36. That is on trade, justice, and improved global market access for African agricultural products. Honorable Speaker, on the symposium towards the journey to P20, members were further engaged on trade justice and improved global market access for African agricultural products. It was presented that the agricultural sector is an important and strategic sector for African economies and the livelihoods of its citizens. So more than 70% of employment in Africa is within the agricultural sector, and smallholder farmers add to the majority of the Africa's farmers. The data demonstrates that there is need for more growth and development, as Africans are more contingent on income from the agricultural sector than from any other sector, seeing agriculture as one of the strategic sectors, priorities to foster sustainable economic growth, employment creation, and food security, poverty reduction, etc. The discussion touched on structural barriers such as tariffs, subsidies, non-tariff barriers, and climate-driven sanitary regulations that inhibit Africa's agricultural competitiveness. And it was recognized that despite the continent being a net importer of food, it had huge export potential via diversified, climate-smart, and value-added agricultural products. Please, let's go to page 52 to deal with the recommendations. I believe it's 52. That's the last two pages.
Page 52.
Yeah.
The second to the last page.
You've seen that?
Second to last page.
Yeah, but I will read all the recommendations. There are not many. Recommendation, Honorable Speaker. 1. Recommendation on the APRM report on early warning conflict prevention in Africa. Recommendation on the establishment of a continental framework for artificial intelligence, data sovereignty, and responsible data innovation. There is a recommendation of the Pan-African Parliament on reparations for Africans and people of African descent. Recommendation is also on report of the fact-finding and advocacy mission on the progress made by the Republic of Tanzania on the AfCFTA Guided Trade Initiative. There is recommendation on the Pan-African Parliament, PAP, on the UN Climate Change Conference, COP29. Recommendation on artificial intelligence, data protection, and privacy in Africa. Recommendation on the report on digital health and smart manufacturing in Africa. Recommendation on the impact of US visa and tariff restrictions in Africa. It was a contentious one. Recommendation on the African Union Convention on ending violence against women and girls. Recommendation on the joint consultative meeting between the Peace and Security Council of the African Union and the Pan-African Parliament. There is recommendation on the report of the Youth Caucus Forum on good governance and democratization of education for Africa's youth in the 21st century, revolutionizing and innovating the African education system through virtual learning. These are the recommendations, some of the recommendations that I've made. Page 53, Honorable Speaker, which is dealing with the resolution. There is a resolution on the state of human rights in Africa, resolution on the adoption of the APRCM report on early warning conflict prevention in Africa, resolution on the establishment of a continental framework for artificial intelligence, data sovereignty, and responsible digital innovation, resolution of Pan-African Parliament on reparations for Africans and people of African descent, resolution on adoption on first reading of the draft model law on gender equality and equity in Africa, resolution of the Pan-African Parliament PAP on the UN Climate Change Conference, COP29, resolution on adoption on first reading of the model law on sustainable soil management in Africa, resolution on adoption on first reading of the model law on factoring in Africa, resolution on the report from the fact-finding and advocacy mission on the progress made by the Republic of Tanzania on the AFCETA-guided trade initiative, resolution on the joint consultative meeting between the Peace and Security Council of the African Union and the Pan-African Parliament, resolution on the report of the Youth Caucus Forum on good governance and democratization of education for Africa's youth in the 21st century, revolutionizing and innovating the African education system through virtual learning. Resolution on the consideration of the report of the Committee on Finance and Monetary Affairs on the Pan-African Parliament budget for the financial year 2025, special allocation, mid-year budget execution, and approved budget for 2026. Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the time. I know you are. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any seconder? The member for Kiang West, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. I rise to second the motion, and also want to thank the members of the committee and the clerk and the secretary who accompanied them to South Africa. I want to thank you all for the great job done. I therefore want to move a motion that we adopt the report without debate. Thank you so much.
Honorable member, so now, any seconder? Any seconder, the member for Kiang West? The member for Talinding?
That's the second motion.
No, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, now I'm going to put the two questions.
Honorable Speaker.
You, Lower Salon, what is your problem? Lower Salon, please use your mic. I saw your tag, yes? Use your mic.
Yes, I think the member for Kiang has to give a relevant standing orders where he is going to move a motion. You understand? He has to use the correct standing orders whereby you can able to rule on that.
Honorable, sit down, please.
Honorable Speaker.
No, he moved a motion. I'm so, everybody knows that he can move a motion. Motion can be moved at any time. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do consider the report of the government delegation to the 5th ordinary session and all the related meetings of the Pan-African Parliament held in Midrand, South Africa from 16 July to 1st August 2025 under the AU theme of the year, Justice for Africans and Persons of African Descent through reparation and state of human rights in Africa. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, there is a motion moved by the member for Kiang West, and it has been seconded for us to adopt the report without debate. Now I'll put the question. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. There is division, honorable members, called by the member for Fonyi Bintang Karanai. Those in favor of the motion, please raise your tags. Those in favor of the motion to adopt the report without debate, raise your tags.
Honorable Speaker, I want to debate.
Please,
If the members don't,
honorable, don't use the mic, please. Don't do that. Honorable, don't do that. Honorable, don't put on your mic without the leave of the speaker. Those against the motion, please raise your tags. Those abstaining, please raise your tags. Honorable members, the results are as follows. Ayes 11, noes 4, abstention 3. The ayes have it. Honorable members, now I will put the question for its adoption. Honorable members, you know, by practice, I want to call on the mover of the motion. Of course, you are not winding up any debate. There have not been debate. Maybe to thank members. Honorable mover, please.
Honorable Speaker, I thank all members for adopting the report, and I will also urge all members to really read this report because there are so many things that are beneficial to us, especially for this party. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable members, it has been resolved that this Honorable Assembly do adopt the report of the Gambia delegation to the 5th ordinary session and all the related meetings of the Pan-African Parliament held in Midrand, South Africa from 16 July to 1st August 2025 under the African Union theme of the year called Justice for Africans and Persons of African Descent through Reparations and State of Human Rights in Africa. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Thank you, Clerk. We may proceed.
Thank you. Motion, be it resolved that this August Assembly do consider and approve an extension of time for the Special Select Committee established to inquire into the sale and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealings with former President Yahya AJJ Jammeh and connected matters by the chairperson of the Special Select Committee.
Honorable Chairperson, represented by a member of the committee. The chairperson is not in. Member for Woolly is.
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Section 109(2) of the Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia, 1997, and Orders 53 and 95 of the Standing Orders of the National Assembly, I rise to move that this August Assembly do consider and approve an extension of time for the Special Select Committee established to inquire into the sale and disposal of the assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices in relation to former President A.J.J. Jammeh and connected matters for the purpose of report writing and finalization. Preamble. Whereas this Honorable Assembly, on the 14th day of May 2025, established the Special Select Committee, hereinafter referred to as the Committee to inquire into the sale and disposal of assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices in relation to former President A.J. Jammeh and connected matters. Whereas this Honorable Assembly initially authorized the committee to conduct its inquiry for a period of 120 days, and subsequently approved a further extension of 90 days, during which period the committee substantially discharged its evidentiary mandate through the hearing of witnesses, the examination of voluminous documentation, and the conduct of public proceedings. Whereas the committee is scheduled to present its report to this Honorable Assembly on Tuesday, the 16th day of December 2025, whereas the volume and complexity of the evidence gathered necessitate additional time to ensure that the committee's findings, conclusions, and recommendations are accurately grounded in the record and fairly reflect the matters examined. And whereas the committee is of the considered view that a short extension of time is necessary in the public interest to enable it to complete the verification, consolidation, and finalization of its report in a manner befitting the gravity and national significance of its mandate. Resolution. Now, therefore, be it resolved that this Honorable Assembly, 1, grants the committee an extension of time for the tabling of its report commencing from Tuesday, the 16th day of December 2025, to on or before the next ordinary session of the Assembly. 2, authorizes the committee during the extended period to A, request further documentation, B, seek clarification, and, where necessary, invite any person previously examined or directly connected to the evidence on record, and C, exercise all powers conferred upon it under the original motion establishing the committee until the expiry of the extended period. 3, confirms that the authority granted under paragraph 2 shall not operate to reopen, expand, or extend the substantive inquiry, but shall be exercised solely for the purposes of verification, internal coherence, and the proper presentation of the committee's findings and recommendations. And 4, directs the committee to submit its final report to the office of the clerk on or before the 31st day of January 2026 for tabling before this Honorable Assembly on or before the next ordinary session. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move. Thank you.
Any seconder? Yeah, now I think let's allow it to be seconded, because a motion you can always take for clarity, for rectification, or for amendment to the motion. Now let's allow someone to second it first.
That's what I want.
Oh, you want to second it? All right, Member Talinding Kunjang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, because what I have, we are just going to adopt it without debate. But the member for Talinding Kunjang want clarity or for corrections. I can allow members to ask questions. Yes, the member for Talen and Kunyang, you have the floor.
Thank you. The last part, 4, paragraph 4, the last. For tabling before this Honorable Assembly during the next ordinary session, not on or before. You cannot table before ordinary session. How can you table before ordinary session?
You said what? On the?
For tabling before.
On 4.
Yes.
Huh?
For tabling before, you know you already have before there. For tabling before this Honorable Assembly during the next ordinary session. That's what I prefer. During the next ordinary session. No, the before cannot be there. No, it's not okay. It's not
Honorable
okay.
members order, he's right.
Look at the word tabling. You
Because what the member for Talen and Kunyang is saying is on or before. That means, because if it is that, maybe they are talking about extraordinary. So, but what the member is saying to say on the ordinary session. What he is saying, he wants is to say tabling during the ordinary session. Honorable members order, what the member for Talen and Kunyang is saying during the first ordinary session of next year. Or the next ordinary session. But, or he doesn't want. Honorable members, order, honorable members. Now let's do the correction on 4, Talen and Kunyang. The member for Talen and Kunyang. Please, best pay attention. Now, he wants it to read like this. Direct the committee to submit its final report to the office of the clerk on or before 31st day of January 2026 for tabling during the next ordinary session. For tabling during the next
Speaker.
ordinary session. Sit down.
Can I clarify?
Chair,
you know
take note. No, take note. I have not given you the floor. I'll come to you. I'll go to Nyamina West, Lower Fuladu, Fonye Kansala. Sorry, Nyamina West, Lower Salon, Fonye Kansala, then Joshua. Chair AI, the member for Woolly East. Member for Woolly East, there are no 2 sessions. Member for Woolly East, there are no 2 sessions. Please, take note. The member for Talen and Kunyang, the last on or, he want it to be for tabling during the next ordinary session. Now, take note. We will go to Nyamina West, Lower Foot.
Noted.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I did not see any problem as it is written, because sometimes we do have extraordinary sittings. I'm not saying that there will be one or not, but as it is written, sometimes the parliament do have extraordinary sittings. So in the language, it is very fine as it is. Thank you.
No. Clarity to avoid extraordinary session. That's why we are removing that. We will only say for next ordinary session, so that there will be no necessary or necessity for us to call for extraordinary session. Exactly. The member for Lower Salem, you have the floor.
Honorable Speaker, I want to challenge the motion initially, because the motion that is given to us is 53 and 95.5 of the standing orders of the National Assembly, that is receipt of debating members to debate on it. One, which I disagree. Because if you refer us 53, you understand, then you can get the substantive motion whereby people can debate on these motions, the 53. Each of these motions, Honorable Speaker.
The member for Fonyi Councillor, but Lama for Lower Salum. Are you done? Okay, go ahead.
53. Motion which may be made without notice. Then they further also give us 95.5, where the establishment of this special committee is. And motions that we have new and the practice in this parliament, that motions are received on debate. One. Two, if you check the original motions, if you check on the original motions, 120 days was given to them, and it was debated, that motions. Members debate that motions, we pass by the plenary. And we then the 120. But in this case, if you check the last paragraph, that's 4, directs and the committee of the summit its finance reports to the office of the clerk on or before 31st day of January 2026, means this January. Where the member is saying, if you check 1, grants the committee on extension of time for the tabling of its report, commencing from Tuesday, the 16th day of December 2025, on or before next ordinary session. Next ordinary session. And next ordinary sessions will capture on March. This is our timetable. You understand? So it means even themselves, they don't know what they are doing. Because 1, before January, you will submit your report to the office of the clerk. You understand? Before January. It's there. Read it, it's there. You understand? So I think the committee need to guide members on what is their intention of this motion. Because if the second extension was, we allowed them to exhaust the witnesses. To exhaust the witnesses that will come forward. And now here, they are even adding more witnesses again and report writing. No, what they could have done us now.
Please allow the member.
Let them tell us what is happening in their committees. Whether it is report writing only or to ask other witnesses to come forward. If there is, we can do, we can understand what to do. But in this case, they don't give us any evidence of extending their motions. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The member for Fonyi Councillor, you have the floor.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, I think this is a serious matter before us. Now, when you look at the heading itself and the resolutions that they wanted, so now, therefore, be it resolved. 1, if you look at their B is saying seek clarification and where necessary invite any person previously examined or directly connected to the evidence on the records. Now here, what mode would they use to ascertain that? I think also in this, I seek for amendment where witnesses also could be called. Witnesses could be called because I know that this committee, what is left with them is more than what they have covered. What is left with them, wallahi, is more than what they have covered. Then the other part that I also want to contribute is, if you look at 4, that said, directs the committee to submit its final report to the office of the clerk on or before. They cannot maintain it. They cannot do it. I am telling you. I suggest let them work with February. Then the last part, end February, the last part, before the ordinary session. Honorable Speaker, this was a committee that came for us to adjust another 100 days. And in that 100 days, we've seen a lot of, they're doing very fine, but they have a heavy work. So here, let's be this extension be final for us to open a room. Therefore, with the next session, March, they'll be able to do all the needful that is to guide the committee. But I am not in agreement of January, but instead suggesting for February for the completion submission to the office of the clerk. Then we maintain strictly to the ordinary session of March specifically. And in B, let them also go and re-engage and interview witnesses publicly. If not, we are waiting for the bombshells that will hold you people here. I am telling you what is remaining. People that have getting witnesses and they are not called, they are not testifying. I am telling you, it's more than what they have did the work. So therefore, these are my submissions.
Honorable member
and my suggestion.
Honorable member for Councillor, you are contradicting yourself because
Like?
don't on your mic. You are because order, honorable members, because you are saying February as the deadline for them to submit the report to the clerk. Members from that end. That is on my right and on my left. Now, the member for Fonye Councillor, you said February, and then without any ambiguity, March ordinary session. And you are also opening, you are proposing for opening for more witnesses, those that are, in fact, that is not part of the motion. The motion is saying those who have those who have been previously examined and or questions. That's what the motion is saying. Let's confine our distinct clarification on what is here. Let's not bring in new things there. So now the member for Woolly East, are you taking note? Member, no, I said take note. Member for Woolly East, take note. Now, from there, now I'm giving the floor to, as I said, the member for Joshua. I'll come back to you, Lobasaro. Then,
Well,
no, he's not debating there. It's clarification, no debate here.
I'm not debating. He is saying that I am defending. I'm a member.
Okay, refer us to which
I have
point?
the right to defend. I'm a member.
Refer us to which point? Honorable member for Joshua, your concern.
I'm an honorable speaker. I think we have to be very clear here. The motion is very clear, and then the resolutions are very clear. If at all members want additional thing, you cannot say that we haven't given you what we are looking for. It's very clear. We have given you 4 areas that we see. That's why we are looking for an extension. To go through those 4 areas, invite people, discuss with them. That we feel that we can still ask verification from them. And number 4 is very clear. We are saying on or before. It's very clear. We can have extra organization on this. If the man who is in control of the vote is part of the committee, is in agreement, it's still possible. Extraordinary is still possible. So we cannot say no to extraordinary. So he is part of us. If he's one in vote control and he's saying that it's possible, it's possible.
Honorable, thank you.
My friend.
Yes, Sanementreng.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I think this motion is very, very clear. I think the only area that we need to amend is what the Honorable Member for Talini Kunja have just identified, which is on or before the next ordinary session. And it is obviously clear that we wouldn't have any session, as you've just explained to a member, that there wouldn't be any extraordinary session that this motion would have been, would have been part of, or we can have any extraordinary session that this motion could have been brought in. It is only the ordinary session where we can brought, where the motion can be, the session can be, this can be part of that session. So I think what we should be doing is, instead of spending much time on this, the only amendment, which is very, very clear, and I concur with what he said, the member for Talinin Kunya, that we can only amend on or before the next session, since there wouldn't be any ordinary session, that this motion can be brought in. Thank
Honorable
you.
member, no, you cannot say we can only amend that. No.
I mean,
no.
it's a slip of a tongue. I mean,
just say your
ordinary,
opinion.
extraordinary. Yeah.
You are supporting his proposal. But you cannot say we can only amend that. No. Yeah, member for.
That's my opinion.
Say
That's what
I
I'm
am
saying.
suggesting.
I
we
am not
amend
saying
only.
this is, it is my opinion that we amend.
No, you can only say that you are suggesting for us to amend only that, but don't say we can only. When you say we can only, that means you are saying that no, that cannot. Remember for Tumanna, you have the floor. Tumanna, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think we need to be very clear here. What I am seeing, the way I'm seeing the motion, I think it is very, very correct. I think it is very, very correct. In fact, the bone of contention here is on number 4. But I think the intent of the language is that before the next ordinary session, they will be ready and they will make a submission to the office of the clerk. When they make a submission to the office of the clerk, then the ordinary session, their tabling can take place. I think the intent is very correct. Thank you very much.
Now, member for Lower Salom, then we.
Honorable Speaker, the last extension. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the last extensions motions is here with me. It reads that resolution number 2. Now, therefore, it be resolved that this Honorable Assembly, A, to extend a mandate of the committee for the further period of 90 days, commencing from 18th days of September 2025. And again, the C says it directs the committee to submit its final report on the Assembly on or before 16th date of September 2025, and this was adopted here and approved. This was here a second extension. First one, you understand, it was adopted. They said it directs the committee to submit its final report to the Assembly on or before 16 days of December 2025. You have approved. This was 16. And now their report says again, here there's no time bound given to us. Whether it's going to be 90 days or 1 week or 2 months, it's not written. Because it's only given now extra, ordinary session. And our ordinary session could be March, means they will sit from 16 now up to where we get our ordinary session in our calendar. And Honorable Speaker, if you get a 4, means it directs the committee to submit the final report of Office of the Clerk before 31st of January 2026. That is time. You understand? Now, allow me to come, members. Now, what I want here is, let them give us a specific time whereby they will be able to finish their work, whether it's 90 days or 120 days, let them be very clear. Because their first extension is written here 90 days.
No.
This one, none.
No, honorable member. They said, you said in the extension, they want to submit the report to the office of the clerk by January 31st. That means whatever they are doing extension or interviews or anything, but by 31st January, they should submit the report to office of the clerk. We would not have been on session unless they call for extraordinary session. If you don't want, when they want you to sign for extraordinary session, don't sign. Members should not sign. Members should not come. If you don't come, then beyond 31st January, they cannot continue to write report. Of course, Seni. Sorry, member for Lower Salom. They are saying the next ordinary session, the members for Janjanbureh and Joshua, members for Janjanbureh and Joshua, please. No, you cannot consult here. No, 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 no. Honorable members, order. Order. Joshua Janyamure, order. Honorable members, order, please. Honorable member for Lower Salum. The report should be next ordinary session. And they are saying submissions for the office of the clerk should be latest 31st January 2026. That's a date. That means whatever they are doing, it will report. If not, they should come back again to Parliament to seek for further extension. There is nowhere in the resolution or in our standard that says they cannot seek for further extension. They can, and Parliament to approve or to disapprove. Even today, if you want, you can disapprove. But there is date, 31st January. Yes, member for Kiang West.
Honorable Speaker, let us be very much careful with whatever we are doing. And the way the language is carved in every part of this report, we must read it very, very well. If you look at resolutions, under 3, it reads, confirms that authority granted under paragraph 2 shall not, just look at it, authority granted under paragraph 2 shall not operate or reopen, expand or extend the substantive inquiry. We have, there could be, but what? But shall not exercise solely for the purpose of verification.
But shall be, not shall not.
But shall be, exactly. But shall be exercised solely for the purpose of verification, internal coherence, and proper presentation of committee's findings and recommendations. And, Honorable Chair, there is a strong limitations in this paragraph. There is a strong limitation in this paragraph that is trying to limit for any committee member or technician who may want to suggest that a person who have not been previously summoned be summoned again. And let us this is closing something. It's very technical, and it is trying to close. It is notwithstanding all what we have mentioned above. There will be no suggestion that would demand that anybody who has not been re-summoned to be re-summoned, or even a public hearing to be done, because that would mean that there is an opening of a new inquiry. So those suggestions we need to have a look at that very well. And they should not close a caveat, so that if a committee member feels that a person who's supposed to be summoned was not summoned, could be summoned again. And when a submission is put forward and it is conceivable, they could adopt that the person be re-summoned. Or when they feel that there could be a public hearing, they could also do that. But if they close it up, that is very technical, and we must be careful about that. So that is the submission I have. Otherwise, if they cannot amend that one, they cannot be able to do anything again.
Honorable member, all inquiries must be brought to an end, because there are no inquiries that you will want to get all that you want throughout. If not, they will go for eternity. For what they are saying, they are seeking further extension to complete their report, and also probably get some facts or evidence being corroborated, or further inquiry to ascertain the exact event or things that happen, to enable them finally come to conclusion on those various evidences. I think that's the objective. Honorable members, let's not please waste our time on these things. Now, Talending Kunyang Serekunda, then I put the question.
I think the case is closed. Like what the honorable member is saying, because if you look at the language, not necessarily, they might invite a new person but that person has to be connected to an evidence on record. So that is what closes it. It's going to be a new chapter at all. So anybody that's going to be re-invited or re-examined has to be directly connected to the evidence on record that they have already. So I think it's close. Somebody.
Member for Serekunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. The matter to be, the substance of the motion that needs to be discussed is about the extension of time. And in order to fully understand that, you have to go to the, through the preamble. In paragraph 3 states, whereas this Honorable Assembly initially authorized, no, paragraph 5, paragraph 5. Whereas the volume and complexity of the evidences gathered necessitated.
Which paragraph 5?
Of the preamble. The preamble outlines the paragraph 5. No.
5, second to last.
Second to last, paragraph 4.
5.
Hmm?
It's
4.
paragraph 5, second to last. Order, honorable members, paragraph 5. Go ahead.
Yeah. Whereas the volume and complexity of the evidences gathered necessitated additional time to ensure that the committee's finding, conclusion, and recommendations are accurately grounded in the records and fairly reflect the matters examined. That's the objective. So I think this motion shouldn't entertain any debate. If you are not part of the committee, I think you can't make any meaningful amendment or proposal to this motion, because they know the time that they require. No, I'm not withdrawing. We have been here since November, my brother. And some people just want to bring, you know, unnecessary polemic. But the subject matter is that they need an extension. And if you are following the committee's work, you will really understand the need why they are advancing this motion. So on that note, Honorable Speaker, I think you should just put it to us. We just, you know, adopt the resolution and give them the required time. Thank you.
So, honorable members, thank you. You have noted down the concern on 4. That is on, or just to say table in the next ordinary session. That's the only amendment we have. Yes, Chair. Chair, can you take the floor?
You want to join the debate, Speaker? Tell us.
For any councillor.
Zero. Don't call my constituency.
Honorable Speaker, Lower Salum is asking whether we want to call for new witnesses. No, wait, I listen to you. We are not calling any new witnesses. I want to clarify that. Wait. Foni Councillor is suggesting February, pushing it to February. That's all that you have said, in a sense. All just one and the Sani Mentoring are seeking for clarification. Tumana is just clarifying. Kiang West, no new summonses will be called. Connected to
Willie West. Willie West.
Yes.
I gave you Willie East. I gave the floor to address us, not to be chit-chatting with members, toning down, looking at them. No, address me if you want to. Don't address any member.
Yeah, okay, Honorable Speaker. Thank you. No new summonses will be called unless they are connected to earlier evidences that were adduced. So the reason why we are putting it in this way in 4 is twofold. We intend to submit the final report to the office of the clerk on or before 31st day of January 2026. That is one part. The second part is we intend to table this report to the Assembly during or before the ordinary session. During, or if you want to put it this way, during the ordinary session or before the ordinary session, when there is an extraordinary
Yeah,
session. That's all that.
that's what the honorable members
Yes.
want to avoid.
Yes, and it's noted.
So you have noted it down
Yeah.
to say for tabling next ordinary session.
No,
Are we leaving it as it is,
it
or
could be, no, we're leaving it as it is during the ordinary session or before the ordinary session.
honorable members? Is that the agreement? Yes. So we leave it like that. Okay. Honorable members, order. Janjambure and Joshua, the member for Janjambure and Joshua.
Chair, for me, I think my issue is specification. I want us to be specific. If we want to open for a room for extraordinary session, let's craft it there. If not, let's maintain the next session. Let's maintain that. That's my suggestion. I know, because we'll come the same.
It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do approve the extension of time for the Special Select Committee established to inquire into the sale, into the honorable members. I want you to all turn and look at the members for Janjambure and Joshua. Look at them. Just look at them. You see. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that this Honorable Assembly do approve the extension of time for the Special Select Committee established to inquire into the sale disposal of assets. Into the sale and disposal of assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activities of public bodies, enterprises, and offices as regards their dealings with former President Yahya Jammeh and connected matters. Those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, be it resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Wednesday, 17 December 2025. Those in favor, please say aye. Honorable members, those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stands adjourned until Wednesday, 17 December 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt.